But there's more. Ray Fabiani.
Huh?
We talked about him. He was notable for being the longtime promoter in Philadelphia and was incredibly successful there. But again, these guys in the 30s and 40s, they would pick up and go from, one major market to the other because they had so many connections. They could still get talent, and they would open up buildings or take over beleaguered territories or just, whatever. There was no restraint on anybody at that time as long as they stayed in with a clique of promoters and booking offices that could supply them with talent. So, but in Philadelphia, Ray Fabiani Sports, April 3rd, 1940. It was at 1607 Sansom Street, by the way, Sansom. He wrote to Jack Pfefer at the Times building in New York City. Dear Jack, I've done a great job with the Angel today. He will tell you himself when he returns, and everything is going along very nicely. And of course, Pfefer at the time was booking. Was it the Swedish Angel at that point in time, which was a ripoff of Maurice Tillett, the French Angel. Whichever angel, the ugly folks, the freaks, right, is what he termed them. But Fabiani says, but there is one thing that you must do so that we will have no trouble, and that is to stop mailing things to newspapers around here. Remember that the press here, as well as everywhere else, resents you and your wrestlers due to the terrible statements you have made, and it has not been easy for me to overcome all this. The story of St. Louis, while it criticized the other angel, it was a terrible knock to wrestling, and mailing it to them does not help anything. Therefore, I'm warning you not to do it if our relations are to be cordial. Best regards, sincerely yours, Ray Fabiani. Pfefer would get so pissed off that if he had an interest, maybe he made the first angel and then the first angel left him, so he made another angel. Whatever the fuck, we got to study this period to determine what's behind these letters. But the point is, he got so fucking bitter at these people that anytime they went into a wrestling area, he would send the newspapers articles claiming they weren't the real champion, or they weren't the real angel, or they were fake, or whatever the fuck. And the promoters that were using these guys would have to tell him, please, God damn it, quit, right? But Fabiani did business with Pfefer for years and years. I think there's another letter maybe in here. And, but every once in a while there had to be a stern wording. But I thought that was incredible. Please remember that the press here, as well as everywhere else, resents you and your wrestlers due to the terrible statements you have made. Jack wasn't popular in Philadelphia.
Fabiani later ran against Kohler for a brief period of time in Chicago.
Yes, and that was 1950, 51. So that was like 10 years after that.
Yeah.